Hi there, Susan Yasui here, and this chapter, chapter 15, it is called It's My Body. Now, this is a chapter from the book Through the Eyes of a Child, which is my daughter speaking about the differences from her mother's culture, an American, myself, and her father's culture, Japanese. But I want to note here today that this was written 25 years ago. And I have noticed that the points my daughter brings up here are not necessarily true in today's Japanese culture. It's regarding students and what's allowed in their uniforms and their hair and their body. So I've seen big changes in this, but I'll read you what she had to say 25 years ago. All right. Chapter 15, It's My Body. Gee, I really did it this time. I got my ears pierced while I was in America for Christmas. I've been shocking my Japanese family and friends ever since. They can't believe that such a young girl has pierced ears. Actually, it wasn't completely easy getting my mom to agree to it. Her mother wouldn't let her do her ears until she was 18 years old. The mother of one of my adult students wouldn't let her do her ears until she graduated from college. I was standing in line behind a lady at a J.C. Penney department store in Los Angeles. She said that her daughter wanted pierced ears for Christmas this year, but she told her, no, not until you are at least 12 years old. Well, okay. I should mention also that when my daughter brought this up long before Christmas, that she wanted to get her ears pierced, I said, well, I know somebody in America that could do it that I trust, so how about we wait until our Christmas trip to the US? So my daughter agreed, and I was hoping she would forget about it. I was hoping she would forget about it, but she didn't. So I continue now. So how did I do it? I reminded my mother that I am a person, not an animal, nor a possession belonging to someone else, and it's my body after all. I have heard my mom help many mothers over the years with the problems of raising children. That's the first point she always makes. So there. She just needed to be reminded. I know there is the problem of the school system here meaning in Japan. Mostly jewelry isn't allowed, and of course no makeup, no mature looking hairstyles, no hair permanents, and usually the boys must wear soldier style haircuts. One girl told me that in her school she had to get a certificate proving that her slightly lighter hair color was natural and not changed at the beauty shop. No combs, brushes, or mirrors allowed either, and the school bags are sometimes checked to make sure the students are following the rules. One boy that I know got a haircut that was uneven, and it looked odd the next day at school. The teacher said he'd cut the student's hair with electric shears himself. The student agreed that it looked strange, but said he'd go right after school and get it redone. The teacher insisted, though, pulled out the shears, and the student got a buzz cut. Students can't go to coffee shops, etc. with their friends after school, and of course, there's no dating allowed. Some schools say that McDonald's hamburger shop is okay, which I guess explains the crowded lines there when school lets out. There is the matter of uniforms, not to be altered after purchase, identical school bags, white socks, no lines, black shoes, or with the schools using white shoes, no design lines along the sides, and no gloves or mufflers in the winter, as they are not part of the uniform. One man told me that in his school, the students could wear gloves and mufflers, but not jackets or coats. They were told to add more underwear instead. That was a problem for the girls because their uniforms were exactly tailored, so other clothing underneath didn't fit. Finally, a special matching coat was designed, and each girl student was then required to buy one of those coats for the winter. Some elementary schools don't allow the use of mechanical pencils because they're fancier than usual pencils and can show differences between individual students. Maybe the authorities think it is much easier to handle people when they are organized as a strict group rather than many individuals operating within a group. This doesn't seem quite right to me. One student's parents in California sued the school for not letting the student wear pierced earrings, and that student was a boy. That's right, I remember that exactly. But really, in my case, I got my ears pierced because I like the idea of wearing pierced earrings, and it is my body, after all. So that's the story, and that is exactly how that went. But again, I've seen so many changes in the school system, or, more and more people are being allowed to be more themselves and more of an individual than everyone doing exactly the same thing, which is kind of refreshing. Anyway, that's it for today, and I'll get back to you on the next chapter here soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.